Hey everyone, I want to give my summary. This is summary in Weekend Truth Festival down here in Workington, Cumbria. There were lots of speakers. I wasn't so sure, but about 24 to 25 speakers, if not more, spoke for 4 days, and all of them, everyone is unveiling truths they've come to discover in their field. Like I said, right from the food and farming side to health to water to what's it called, lawful and legal and all that. There's one thing that strikes me. Clive Edward came, and he, due to his personal experience, and I love one thing: when you speak from conviction, you know that you speak from what you have experienced and in depth of this is your own experience that you are sharing. So it's left for somebody to either believe it or discard it, because it's not their experience, of course. And one thing with life is that life, once you are alive, it's you have your experience. For you to say, oh, I've lived a life is cumulation of experiences. Your experience is different from my experience, and when I speak, I do not want you to just absorb it and say, oh, you run with it. Test it, prove it, and you know the truth yourself. As a young kid who was born into this life, I wanted to know what life was all about. I wanted to know what is life and what is the true way of life, of living. And I was born into a Christian family, which automatically made me a Christian. I was christened and given a Christian name, which is Gloria and all that. So I wanted to know God for myself, not because I one day I said to myself that I'm a Christian because I was born into a Christian family. If I was born into a different religion, I will automatically take after that religion. So what is in life? And I began to research both in the Islamic and the Christian one, because those were the two known to me, and the idol worship, as coming from an African background, the African traditional practice. So I wanted to know God for myself, and I went to digging deep, went to further research and study, and I came to one conclusion, and I said, if I do everything this Bible preaches and talk about, I don't think I really lose, because I've studied the Bible back and front, and I found out that it is not just reading it for reading's sake, but it is truly a way of life, and everything written there is for my own good and benefit. And it helps me mentally when I'm down, when I'm traumatized, when I'm confused. There are different things written. If only people can come with an open mind and study. There's one favorite part of the scripture I like to read, though I'm conversant with the King James translation, which say, study to show thyself approved, on like a workman who needed not to be ashamed. He said, but rightly dividing the word of truth. What that means is that he said study. He didn't just tell you, oh, run with it, oh, read. He said study to show yourself approved unto God. That means you have to do your own bits. You have to study it, and that is what Clive Edward has done. Clive Edward, because he bought a land and the council was always after him, he went to study and said, let him even do some research. And he studied, and he showed himself approved unto us and said, this is my evidence, this is my result as a result of my study. And he has studied and come to fact that the Bible, the law court recognize the Bible, and he came with two sides and said there is what is called lawful and there's what is called legal. And he said the UK is a legal title, and every other titles, whether you are Mr. and Mrs., whether you are a doctor, a barrister, whether you are a loader title, say I'm a living man, all those things are titled under the UK government. And then this is what is lawful under the eyes of God. So the Bible is recognized, and they recognize it. And in my head, I was like, I already have this conviction that the Bible, for me, it is the way of life, and I hold it. That is my anchor. And Mark knows. I told him that every other people try to twist and bend things and say, oh, this, oh, King James did it. Oh, I told him that I said the Bible and God has been misrepresented like every other field, like even the pharmacy. I believe the people who started pharmacy had the best of intention, but obviously it has been misrepresented. I said, I also think even in the food and farming sector, I told him one day, I said, Mark, that food and farming has been misrepresented. The way they farm now is not the way our ancestors farm. So we that know the truth need to present the truth again to our generation. Whether you are as a Christian, if you know the truth, and the Bible said in John 8:32, it said, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. This was Jesus teaching to the people that always come to his gatherings, just like the way we have Truth Festival. So only the truth, that is what my message is this morning. Only the truth shall set you free. We all want freedom, right? Everybody crave for freedom, sovereignty, be able to eat good and organic food and all that, right? But do you know that we have all been lied to, and that has put us in a bondage? So it's only that truth. So the question is, what is truth? What is truth in this day and age where everything is built on lie? And one thing that have never ever wiped off, and even if they've tried, I've always searched for, and if you get the true interpretation and true meaning, you will go back to it. Everyone in the truth movement I've seen always in some way, form or shape come back to is still the Bible. It holds a lot of truth there. So do not let anyone deceive you. The law court recognize it. It's OG speaking. Thank you, Clive Edward, for clarifying this.